Hi everyone and welcome back to Outback Polaks. This is another update regarding Polonia, the Polish club in Milton, Brisbane. First of all, thank you so much for all your support. It does help. I want to say a really big thank you for all your messages, supporting texts, phone calls, comments on my YouTube channel. It does really help in regards to all this crazy stuff that has been happening. Brisbane is in lockdown right now, which means that the annual general meeting has been postponed to next Tuesday, same time, same venue. Again, very inconvenient, but what can one do? So, first of all, the OFT, Office of Fair Trading, Polonia has announced that, oh no, they won't give us an extension. Well, that was proven to be untrue, and obviously now the meeting is in April, so I guess that was permitted after all. So we could actually technically have this meeting at the end of April, but I kind of am glad we're not. And the reason why is because I've had the chance to review the caretaker's report and the income statements provided by Polonia with an accountant. So I want to thank that person very much. You know who you are. First of all, shocked is probably the kindest word I could use at this stage. The club is technically broke from what I'm looking at the report, and the report is only up to the 30th of June 2020 and only from 1st of February 2020. I'm literally shocked and lost for words. The Polonia operating account is at $36,330 and cash on hand is $2,147. During the financial year, expenses were $483,000 and income was $295,000. So technically the club is going under. And the reasons is where I am extremely shocked. Unanticipated legal costs. Now, I say unanticipated because obviously you wanted to run these legal proceedings, so therefore they were anticipated. You anticipated running these cost committee. They were incurred at $87,987. I mean, my God, the barrister and solicitor services concerning recovery of Polonia assets. What recovery of assets? Advice Polonia Constitution and Governance responses to accusation for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 members. Prevention of defamatory statements, compensation for unlawful actions, membership terminations, and appeals. You've spent 80,000 of Polonia's hard-earned dollars on pursuing a personal vendetta. You should be ashamed of yourself, committee. How could you do that in a time when Polonia needs its money? You've gone and spent $87,000, close to $88,000 on legal costs because someone said something that you didn't like about you. And where did it get you? Where did it get you? And what did you achieve out of this except for burning our hard-earned cash? The only people that came out of this on top are the solicitors. There's no winners here except the solicitors. And what appeals? Have there been the appeals? No one has heard anything. There's no appeals. People have been appealing their membership status for months, for a couple of years now, and no appeals have been given. So what are you talking about? You can hear it in my voice. I'm shocked. I was up till very late last night going through all of these with the accountant, and it was mind-boggling. I was nearly in tears that the club can be so broke. And this is again up to 30th of June, so I don't even want to know what's happening to the accounts right now. Insurance premiums have increased by $21,000 because of revaluation of the building. Well, who asked you to reevaluate the building? Why did you do that? That's a huge jump from $3,221 to $24,922. We're nearly 10 years after the floods now, so I don't think that's the reason What is the reason for this increase? That's ridiculous. Superannuation surcharges, incorrect rates since removal of paid bookkeeper in 2016, now rectified. Surcharges back pay $18,547. That needs to be explained, because my understanding, and with the link to the ATO website here, this was cancelled in 2005, the superannuation surcharges. So what is this about? It doesn't add up. Losses of bar income due to the refusal by SPK to allow Polonia to sell alcohol at Wiosna Spring Festival 2019, left with stock and had to sell at reduced rates to sell within the use by period. Load of BS. If you know how to manage a club, the first thing you would do is not buy stock unless you've secured a license to sell alcohol. Why would you go and buy alcohol and product with use by dates that are very close to expiring and then unable to obtain the license to go and sell it? That's mismanagement. What an excuse. SPK just renovated their club, and SPK is the Polish version of the RSL. They needed to make a bit of money to obviously pay for all their renovations. You knew you weren't going to get a license. It's historically, yes, that the Polish club in Milton and SPK sell alcohol, or vice versa. You didn't get it, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't have bought all of that and then tried to sell it for cheap and then use that as an excuse. I don't believe you for a second. It's mismanagement. And to personally list SPK as an excuse, and you don't earn that much out of SPK anyway, because it would have been only a few $1,000s. What an excuse. You've spent $483,000 and you're complaining about a few $1,000s from SPK? Come on. Maybe start paying your bills back from the solicitor. Now the COVID excuses come. Further bar sales, 70,000 total comprising COVID and Wiosna. So the Spring Festival, another excuse. Reduced car park income of 20,000. They're on a lease. They should have paid it. Don't give them a break. You're a company, aren't you? It's a tough time for everyone. 15,000 reduced from Carvery. We don't own the Carvery either. So they should have been receiving support from the government and paying you for it, for the rent. And then if they reduce their rent, then you should have been receiving support from the government to obtain the difference. JobKeeper and cash boost of $21,000. So obviously that's to pay your staff. Purchase less bar and food stock in mitigation, reduced bar and restaurant income as a result of COVID and closure and strict social distancing requirements. So basically, yeah, COVID comes, you reduce your purchases of stock, which is a good thing, but you couldn't even manage that for Spring Festival. And then notes for 2020 to 21 financial year, continuing reduction in bar and restaurant sales, current support continuing for struggling Carvery tenant, legal costs incurred due to OFT, Office of Fair Trading involvement, and securing of Polonia building and assets. And then once COVID restrictions are lifted, the club should return to regular income. Yeah, in what state? Because it's in debt. There's a few theories around this that are going around, and you know, why would you run the club so into the ground without informing the Polish community for support or trying to obtain support from the government? For it's a historical building. Why wouldn't you try to obtain support? You've done this before quite a few times. You've managed to organize grants for other associations committee. There are actual statements on website from I think the American Australian Association, where they're thanking Alice Langford for helping them secure more grants. Why couldn't you do that for the Polish club? Or not spend $88,000 on solicitors and barristers? It's embarrassing, it's shameful. And I hope the committee hangs their head in shame of what they've done to the current income. Like, I'm shaking looking at this paperwork. knowing that the cash and cash equivalent is $38,000. So the other thing in the income statement, which raises a lot of eyebrows, is the fact that there's still been membership incomes in 2020 and 2019. 2020 was $4,332 and 2019 was $3,143, which means that you're still obtaining money for memberships, but people don't know if they are members. And this would equal to around 120 members at $35 per member costs. Not counting pensioners or groups or or couples or anything like that. But that's still a lot of members. Where are these members? Are they receiving communications from you? This is ridiculous. Why aren't you reaching out to your members to tell them what is happening? You wait until the 11th hour to tell us that you've made the club pretty much broke. And you can use all the excuses in the world, COVID and all this. A lot of businesses are going through the same thing, but they reach out to their communities and their networks for support. My local cafe up the street, they've reached out to their audience and everyone came and supported them. Yes, profits are low, but they are profitable. The only reason this is happening is because you've wasted the money on solicitors and barristers and insurance costs. This is embarrassing. It's mismanagement. The other thing, salaries. This didn't add up yesterday either when I was looking at this. In 2019, salaries were at 128 grand, but 2020s they were at 120, so less salaries. But the superannuation has gone up. How is that possible? Are people salary sacrificing, job seeker salaries? I don't understand. You've dropped the salaries by $8,000 but increased super by $4,000. So that doesn't add up. This needs to be explained. Also, interest paid. Interest expenses, $778. Does that mean Polonia now has loans? Are we taking out loans? There's other things as well, and this is a huge one. This is probably one of the biggest arguments, not just Polish community in Brisbane, but the entire Polish community in Australia. Polaks, which is the biggest Polish festival in Australia, and I think one of the biggest ones in the world of folkloric dances and all this sort of stuff. The income for that was $286,000, but the expenses were $302,000. How? What were the expenses? There is no explanation of this. There's no receipts. There's no explanation. People have been asking for this money to get Sydney to get going, and you're telling us there is no money left and it was more of a debt? That's impossible. Polonia was making a lot of money out of this, especially in bar sales. Where are the 2018 financial reports to show this? Because they're being listed here in 2019, 2020. But obviously Polak was before that. So I am shocked. I'm extremely shocked. Again, I feel like the committee, someone needs to be held responsible for this. And going for COVID is an excuse. Going for 7 members of Polonia is a terrible excuse. Going after them and burning through Polonia's money, $88,000 of it. If we had that money, we'd be in the plus. If you haven't ruined the relationships between the Polish people and Polonia, we'd be in the plus because the Polish people would support the Polish club. On your Facebook posts and in some of the annual general meeting notices, you're saying you've got tremendous support of the Polish community. If that is so, why are we nearly in debt? Where is the support that you speak of? I haven't seen it. I am so glad that the OFT now is engaged in this and they are ready to get down to the bottom of this. But whether it's too late, I don't know. The theory is that the committee obviously is aware that the club money is running out. So therefore they can turn this into maybe a charitable organization, sell the club and run their own little committee And everyone can be a member, but we've got no longer a club. And it's not just a club, it's the Polish Association. It's of Queensland. It's not just the club. It's the entire association of Queensland that is in jeopardy here. It's Zakopane campgrounds. It's our assets. It's the whole relationship that we have. We've got multiple clubs here in Brisbane that represent the Polish people, but the Milton one is a significant club that has been a part of this association since the 60s. And maybe even earlier than that. I can't even remember the dates anymore because I honestly have a headache. I was nearly in tears last night reading these because when I was on the committee, the club had over $300,000 in term deposits. The income wasn't hard, but we were turning it around and making a profit. I don't usually make videos, emotional videos like this, but this is making me emotional. I struggle to understand why certain individuals are doing this. Is it for personal gain? Is it to put your name somewhere? I don't know why you're doing this, why you've done this, and you haven't been open and transparent. But this is going to ruin our association. And where we can gather and all those sort of things. And I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. I wish people would have reached out. I wish the Polish radio did more as well. I listen to their radio and it's like, oh yeah, this could be a bad thing. This could be, people might be disgruntled with the association. No, people are disgruntled with the committee. Speak up for the Polish people. I shouldn't be doing this investigative journalism. The Polish radio is the radio. You are hosts, you are journalists there, aren't you? Please be open and transparent. Tell the people what is going on. Do your own research. Get some interviews with the people that are involved in this. Take a side. And if you don't want to take a side, take one person from side A and take one person from side B and interview them. And get to the bottom of this. We need to know, we need to get our club back, and we need to re-establish this association, rebuild our relationships and our networks. Please, if you can, attend this meeting on Tuesday. We need to get this club back. If you can, please attend the meeting next Tuesday, unless we still have another lockdown, then it has to be extended again, but please attend the meeting. It doesn't matter whether you're a member or not a member, you used to be a member. Just do it. Make the committee accountable for what they've done. But be calm, because we need this meeting to go ahead. We need the OFD to observe this. I know I'm being very emotional in this video this time, but I promise you when I am at that meeting, I will be calm. And please do the same, because we need this meeting to go ahead. We need to make this committee accountable for what they've done. Thank you. Please subscribe, like and share. I'll bring more of these videos. I've put up a playlist as well, so it's in the description in regards to all the things that are happening at the Polish Club, but I'm lost. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm only lost. I'm very, very lost. I feel sorry for the people that were sued by the club for defamation statements, and I feel sorry for them because the club obviously had money to spend on solicitors and barristers, and these are individuals that don't have money. So there is no, as I said, the only winner here are the barristers and the solicitors that are making money out of this. These are the only winners here. But the committee hasn't spent a single cent. They've burnt through Polonia's money to have their own personal vendetta. And where did it end? The Polish club being broke.